It is the News Blitz with Randy Wang on Talk Radio 790 KABC. We're here every single day from 5 to 6 talking about the local issues that matter to you most and taking your phone calls at 800-222-KABC, 1-800-222-5222, your emails at randykabc@gmail.com, and search for the KABC News Blitz wherever you get your podcasts. You know, we live in an incredible age of technology. I have a phone in front of me that does pretty much anything I could ever want it to do. I can set appointments with my calendar. I can start and stop with my timer. I can set alarms. I can download podcasts, like podcasts of the KABC News Blitz, shameless plug. I can check and send emails. I can pay all of my bills and manage my credit card rewards. I can watch all of my streaming services. I can book travel and go around the world. I can book a car to take me to the airport for that trip. I can order pet food. I can order any kind of food. I can order any kind of thing. Anything I want can be delivered to my door at my fingertips. I can go on social media and see all the nonsense that everybody's crying about. I can go on YouTube and be endlessly entertained by the videos that I watch over and over and over again of a guy solo running Pokemon, or I can do show prep. It's about half and half to what I do. There's a lot of things that I can do with this magic little device that has changed our lives. But the thing I do the least with my phone is use it as a phone. I'm not so much for the direct phone call. When I have to, I'll do it. But for the most part, I don't make a lot of phone calls. Work-related, it's mostly texting or emails or video calls. But actual phone calls are like, if there's an emergency. I call my wife when we have something to talk about if one of us is on the road. Call my mother. That's about it. But when I look at my call history, boy, do a lot of people want to talk to me. In fact, on a daily basis, I get 2, 3, sometimes 4 calls a day from the same guy. He has a lot of different numbers, but he keeps popping up on my phone, and his name is Spam Risk. And when he doesn't call, his friend Survey calls. And the most times when my phone rings, and thank goodness I figured out how to turn off your phone ringing on your computer, because that was driving me crazy. But the majority of the time when this phone rings, I see that it's a number I don't know. It's probably listed as Spam Risk, and I click, go to voicemail. I don't even know if I have a voicemail anymore. I think it's full. Just on the 22nd of this month, 1, 2, 3, and then before that, 2 calls on the 21st, 4, 5. It's like I look at all the red on my phone and all my missed calls. It's just non-stop. If I go through just the missed calls that I've had in the past month, let's see if we can count this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 20, 30. One of these missed calls is actually when my wife tried to call me when I was in the shower. The rest of them, they're all spam robocalls. And the thing is, in this age of technology, where this phone can set the appointments and do the emails and play games and watch movies and order travel and food and everything else that this device can do, in the age of technology where artificial intelligence is literally taking jobs away by the minute, and there are so many things that are changing, autonomous cars, there's so much evolving technology. Are you really telling me there's no way to stop the harassing robo-scam calls? There's no way to stop all the politicians sending me over and over and over again fundraising texts for Prop 50, even though I said stop? There's no way to get some peace in the world? You've got to be kidding me. For more on this and the fight against the just ridiculous amount of robocalls that we're all getting every single day, investigative reporter for CBS Sacramento, Julie Watts, wanted to find out, why can't anything be done about this? Maybe it's a minor inconvenience, but if I was dumb enough to answer one of those calls, well, I might be investing my life savings into crypto right now. Here is CBS Sacramento. All of those noises are triggering to me. I don't like the sound of a phone ringing.
Whether they're pushing payday loans,
don't miss the final window,
sketchy charities,
or mailing out the envelope to help effect a real change for our heroes.
I mean, it's gotten to the point I don't trust anybody. Unless you, I guess if you send me an email, maybe I trust you more. But people that call and leave voicemails, even if it's for something that sounds legitimate, like, hey, we have a way for you to get a refund on that crooked college you went to, I'm afraid to respond because I think everything's a scam out there.
Or they're just a straight-up scam.
I'm calling because your account was flagged for reminders today.
Robocalls aren't just annoying. If that automated voice is asking you for money,
I don't want to alarm you.
Odds are it's illegal.
Annoying.
You mean like when they use AI to pretend that they're a relative of yours and they say that they've got a DUI, but the only way to get bailout for this specific DUI is crypto. Or we're going to leave cash just sitting out there in your mailbox. Don't you worry, someone's going to pick it up.
Annoying, frustrating, interrupting. It's constant for me.
Once a world traveler working on development projects for USAID, Julie Heffitz feels like her new full-time project is fielding spam calls.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Since Friday.
Why even bother to have a do not call list if, quite frankly, it doesn't work?
Julie, don't make me put you on the list. I love you and everything that you did with Katie Porter. But, just think about what you're saying.
Since Friday.
Why even bother to have a do not call list if, quite frankly, it doesn't work?
I take issue with your premise that it doesn't work.
That's the question we first posed to the FCC 15 years ago.
So if you didn't have a do not call list, what you would see is you'd probably see even more calls coming into consumers.
Well, today, it is worse. Data shows the first 9 months of 2025 saw 40.8 billion robocalls, up 5% from the same period last year.
There has to be something that can be done about this. It's not like, you can just make up a phone number. You have to have a phone number to call somebody. And there isn't, in all the technology that we have, we can't identify where the calls are coming from, who they're coming from, whether they're a legitimate business trying to contact you, or, I don't know, they're a slave farm in Cambodia of people forced to scam you. Yeah, it's one of the really ugly secrets of the whole scamming industry is most of the people that are on the phones doing the scamming, whether it's the pig butchering or pretending that they're in love with you to get you to invest in crypto, they're doing that with a literal gun to their head.
Most violate the Telephone Consumer Protection Act, which makes it illegal to make unsolicited, automated, or pre-recorded calls. If it's illegal.
Yeah, we all remember that old episode of The Simpsons where Homer finds an illegal auto dialer and then starts robocalling the entire city of Springfield to send $1 to Happy Dude. That was against the law, and it was driving everybody crazy. But even though it's against the law, there's got to be some way to enforce this because 99.9% of all the people calling me aren't people. They're robots.
If it's illegal, why is it still happening?
It's still happening because it's really hard to track these people down. They're using all sorts of new technologies all the time. They're very creative.
Matt Mazenko works for Nomorobo, one of a growing number of companies that deploys technology to help consumers block unwanted calls.
Every single one of these rings in this story are triggering.
We first featured Nomorobo over a decade ago when they won the FTC's robocall blocking challenge. Their technology has come a long way since then, but so have the scammers. So they're taking a new approach.
We filed 4 lawsuits in a couple of different federal courts.
Nomo Robo tracked and recorded thousands of robocalls using their own network of more than 250,000 unused phone lines, essentially a huge honeypot built to catch robocallers in real time.
We have this data. We know it's real. We can prove everything that, we allege.
So they sued some of the bad actors. So far, mostly debt collectors.
We can...
Yeah. Which I thought the Consumer Protection Act was supposed to stop that kind of behavior. No, they can still robocall you. They just have to, at the very end, say this is a debt collector attempting to collect debt. And I got to tell you, as a former deadbeat, when I was in my 20s, I received a lot of those calls. And those calls were warranted, whether they were human or they were robots, because, well, I didn't have enough money to pay the bills. And I, screwed up my credit for quite a few years. That was my early 20s. I'm 40 now. I have an 800 plus credit score. I've got all the nice credit cards. I am very up to date on my credit. And you know what I've been getting a lot lately is a voicemail from someone that says that I have some kind of debt and they're trying to reach me. And luckily I know it's BS because every credit card that I have has credit monitoring. It would tell me the second I'm flagged for not paying something on time, but doesn't matter. They keep calling. Luckily, I'm not going to fall for it. But every time I hear that voicemail, it is a little triggering because I remember what that was like. But no, I have no debt that you need to collect. You're scamming me.
We can kind of make a statement and say, hey, we're watching. We know what you're doing. We can prove what you're doing. You need to clean up your practices.
Today, following a comprehensive investigation by my office.
Oh boy, Bonta's in this story? Who knew?
California Attorney General Rob Bonta is taking legal action too, joining a multi-state lawsuit against Avid Telecom for making billions of illegal robocalls. Recently, he joined other...
This is great, by the way. Most of the things Rob Bonta does are a waste of time, but I think this is something every state attorney general and the federal government should be involved with too. We regulate these telecom companies, just like I am talking to you on a regulated broadcast airwave. Someone's making money somewhere. There's got to be a way to tamp down on this. There's got to be a way to cut this off.
Recently, he joined other AGs in sending warning letters like these to companies suspected of generating major robocall traffic.
We usually try to get
We caught up with the AG in San Francisco.
Is writing a letter enough to get these folks to change?
No.
It's remarkably impactful especially when it's multiple attorneys general. We'll monitor their response, and if they don't comply, a lawsuit would be the next step.
A recent analysis of FCC data finds more than 50% of U.S. phone companies are not complying with federal robocall law.
So there's already laws on this. And the big companies that are out there, the ones that you pay $150 a month for the privilege of having a phone, aren't enforcing these laws. They're not doing anything about it. What are they making? Are they making money every single time someone leaves you a scam voicemail? I don't understand how this works, but I understand enough to know that saying, oh, there's nothing we can do about it is a bunch of BS.
A recent analysis of FCC data finds more than 50% of U.S. phone companies are not complying with federal robocall law, which requires they install the mandated software and adopt anti-robocall policies.
Do you think the FCC needs to...
No, I think what they want to do instead is sell you something that says they'll get you off the robocalls. It's just like that do not contact list, because I got to tell you, as much as I hate spam calls, spam mail drives me crazy too. I try so hard to make sure for every company I do business with that I'm on paperless. Don't send me a bill. And then when they send me a bill and they want to send me this and they want to send me that, and I get so many things that are in the mail that are such a waste of paper. And if we're the environmentalist state, why do we allow so much junk mail that's out there? Different rant for a different day. But yes, the biggest problems in my comfortable little life are the traffic sucks, spammers keep calling my phone, and my mailbox is always full of junk. I'm a very lucky person, but I can still complain about it.
Do you think the FCC needs to do more to ensure that these companies are actually complying?
I think they can do more. And I think AGs can do more. And I say that because we still have many Americans suffering from robocalls. Not pointing the blame, but just trying to share responsibility.
We reached out to the FCC for comment and got an auto reply saying they won't be responding to press inquiries because of the government shutdown.
Of course.
Unless they're stopped, it's just going to grow and grow, because if they can get away with it, why not?
I refuse to believe that nothing can be done about this. Maybe it's difficult. Maybe it's something we have to work on, but it shouldn't be up to you, the consumer, especially for the amount of money that we pay for these cell phones. And again, I don't know how many minutes I pay for because I almost never use the phone on here. I sure as hell use that unlimited data, but for the amount of money the phone company's making off of me, it should be on them to make sure that I'm not constantly being harassed. But unless you have a real enforcement structure, I don't think anything's going to be done about it. Apparently, there are laws on the books, and a lot of the phone companies aren't doing anything about it. But unless we're willing to actually punish them and go after them, something needs to be done here. Sure, it's complicated. Sure, a lot of these calls are originating internationally. Well, then maybe we need to rethink the whole phone system. If the phone number is so easily exploitable, maybe we got to change the phone number. Maybe we just have to stop that. Maybe, instead of that, well, I have a specific ID that I have for my account that runs this phone. Maybe you call that. Maybe we have to rethink the whole system because there is way too much spamming and scamming going on. 800-222-KABC is the phone number, 1-800-222-5222. Let's go to Armando in L.A. Armando, hello.
Randy, I hear what you're saying. It's all true. But if you have grandchildren and children who know how to use those phones and play those games, man, it's a challenge. They could figure it out and stop everything. Just give them your phone and say, hey, get rid of this. And they'll take care of it. It's just that simple. From about 14 to 18 years old, and that's my grandkids. My children already depend on that because, who needs that? Just like all these stupid ass emails coming your way, and all this text. Crazy.
There we go. Get the young people involved because they know how to turn all this up. That is a good point. The kids that are raised on this technology will understand it better than any of us will. Thank you so much for the call. Appreciate it. I think it might be a little more complicated than that because I'm sure there are blocker softwares out there that you could download and pay for. But ultimately, I don't think it should be on me, the consumer. I think if the telecom companies, your AT&Ts, your T-Mobiles, your Verizons, what have you, your Spectrums, they're profiting off of my data. We know that. They're also profiting off of the bill that I pay every month. It should be on them to make sure that me, the consumer of their product, of their service, isn't being subject to spams and scams. But that's just me. 800-222-KABC is the phone number. 1-800-222-5222. It's the News Blitz with Randy Wang on KABC. It's the News Blitz with Randy Wang on KABC. We're taking your phone calls at 800-222-KABC, 1-800-222-5222. How many times are you getting harassed a day on spam calls and scam calls? 800-222-KABC. Let's go to Shannon in Santa Monica. Shannon, hello.
Yes, my phone calls, lovely spam phone calls, go as early as 4 a.m. and last until 8 p.m. And it's all the same thing: life insurance, whole life insurance, Medi-Cal, or if I'm selling my home.
It's just unacceptable. How are we supposed to live like this? What happens is you just ignore your phone and you don't. And then when something important calls, you're never going to answer it.
Yeah, and I'm a paralegal, and I have to answer all the calls because I don't know if a client's calling. I don't know if a law firm's calling. And so I end up stuck on there, and I've resorted to saying, when I answer, do you know what time it is? Are you dead, dying, or do you want to be dead? And they usually hang up.
Oh my goodness, that's great. I feel for you. There's got to be something that could be done about this. I'm not in the camp where we just throw our hands up and say, "Oh, well, this is just the way the world is." Unacceptable. Thanks so much for the call. Appreciate it. 30 to 40 calls a day. And yeah, I have the benefit of, I don't have to take phone calls from potential clients. I've got friends who work in sales at this radio station, and well, any call could be a potential lead, so it doesn't matter who's calling, they have to answer it. That seems like torture. Let's go to Dale in Long Beach. Dale, hello.
Yeah, Randy, are you aware that the Secret Service uncovered 3 communications network in New York, and one of them had 100,000 SIM cards? They had enough phone cards to overload the whole system. There was a story just a while back. Are you aware of that?
It's the first I've heard of it, but it doesn't surprise me one bit.
Okay, well, they said the authorities are now attempting to determine who was behind the operation and the intent. Well, wouldn't you listen in to find out who was controlling it before you dismantled it? If you Google, did the Secret Service find out who was running the secret phone bank in New York, the story will pop up on your computer. Yeah, there was 3 different locations, very sophisticated, a lot of money. Yeah, it could be criminal organization, it could be international organization, criminals. It's quite a story.
That's wild. And we don't know what the calls were for. I'm sure we could have looked into that first. Thanks so much for the call, Dale. Appreciate it. 800-222-KABC is the phone number. 1-800-222-5222. How many times a day are you getting harassed by spam calls? Do you believe the telecom companies when they say, oh, there's just nothing we can do about this? 800-222-KABC. 1-800-222-5222. It's the News Blitz with Randy Wang on Talk Radio 790 KABC. It is the News Blitz with Randy Wang on Talk Radio 790 KABC. We're here every single day from 5 to 6 talking about the local issues that matter to you most and taking your phone calls at 800-222-KABC, 1-800-222-5222, your emails at randykabc@gmail.com, and search for the KABC News Blitz wherever you get your podcasts. We're taking your phone calls right now at 800-222-KABC, 1-800-222-5222. I get 2 to 3 spam calls a day on my phone. 90% of the time when my phone rings, it's someone I don't want to talk to. And I don't believe the telecom companies or even the FCC when they say, oh, there's nothing we can do about this. Surely there is, and surely somebody's making money. Not just the scammers and the spammers, but the people facilitating these phone calls too. But how often are you getting harassed on your phone? 800-222-KABC, 1-800-222-5222. Let's go to Chuck in Sherman Oaks. Chuck, hello.
Randy Wang, once again, my friend, another banger of a show. I swear they need to put you on more than an hour, my friend. I know you're doing your stuff with John, but come on. Someone in the big time office over there needs to get you a 3-hour show at least, my friend. So I own a small business in Encino. It's a pharmacy. And you want to talk about robocalls. Not even robocalls, but these AI calls. And in a previous life, I worked in production with radio, so I know all this stuff. I got a keen sense for audio, and they've gotten so clever now that when they call, it actually sounds like somebody's clicking a keyboard, and they've got the background noise, so it makes it feel like it's authentic, that an actual person is calling you. Now, for my business, I have like 4 different lines, maybe 5 lines that I have to deal with at a time, and we get robocalls constantly. And so they take up like 2 lines. So when you're trying to answer a phone call to deal with an actual patient, you're trying to now deal with an AI person. And when you say, are you AI? They go, yes, I am artificial intelligence. Then it becomes like, Jesus, man, I'm not even getting a live body. I'm getting AI calls on top of live bodies. So I think I pay a pretty premium, Randy, to have these things handled with, I think Spectrum is who I use. for my telephone comm company, and there's nothing they can do about it. Matter of fact, while I was on hold, I did get another spam call just before, so I was worried that it was going to interrupt this little conversation that we're going to have. But Randy, nothing can be done. I've been on do not call list. I've been on every single list ever since those lists came out. Now being a business owner, it affects my business. It affects my bottom line. Patients call, doctors call, whether they're legit doctors or now robo AI doctors. It gets confusing. You have to cut through the minutia. So it not only hurts, a business person, but it also hurts your sanity because you're trying to not dip into your own stash and be like, I need to take a Xanax or something because all these damn calls keep coming in. Randy, once again, I appreciate everything that you do, my friend. Keep doing it. I wish Tom Looney was there tonight. Love you, Looney. Shout out to you, big boy.
Chuck, thank you so much for the call. I always appreciate it. Things are getting desperate when someone who works at a pharmacy is thinking of dipping into their own supply. And it's just, there are so many aspects of our daily life that give us headaches because nobody wants to do anything about it. And I know compared to all the other crimes that are out there, all the other issues, it's a small thing, but it's so irritating. When the phone rings, that used to be, oh, it's Joy, someone wants to talk to me. No, someone's trying to rip you off. Or, and the thing is, it went well and above that. It used to be, okay, so the phone is nothing but spams and scams, but at least when I go to text messages, at least when it's going to text messages, then it's going to be fine. It's only going to be my friends and my family. And I do love that feature where now you can group callers together, although I'm sure people don't like it if they're not involved in the conversation. Like, let's say you were on a plane and your friends were having some group chat because they watched the reunion of Love is Blind and what the hell was with that drama last night? And you land and now you're like 50 texts missed. You're not going to read that. You're completely out of your element. But if I just go through my phone and the text messages that I receive, few of them we see coworkers, my friend group, my wife, but it feels like every single service, every single website now needs your phone number, and it's not just for keeping records, but it's to constantly barge you with advertisements. And sometimes I just need to learn how to hit stop, but I don't know if they're really going to stop. But like one time, I went to Topanga Social over here at the Westfield Topanga to check it out. It's like a food hall that kind of feels like a casino. And I guess you have to put in your phone number to buy food at the kiosk. So what happened? Well, they start sending me all these alerts of, hey, come see this. Hey, come see that. That's great. But that's not what the text messages is for. If you ever buy clothing online, well, it doesn't matter if you're a member or not. They're going to constantly send you texts about deals. In fact, usually when you sign up for one of these websites, it's like, hey, if you give us your email and your phone number, you're going to get 30% off your first purchase. Like, hey, that's great. But then you do that, and what happens? They text you, Robert Graham, who makes really cool shirts. I signed up because I was curious of shirts to buy now that I don't fit at DXL anymore, and I need to find those shirts that I like in smaller sizes. So I signed up. They were sending me 3 text messages a day. It was nonstop. When I bought a TV this year at Best Buy, got to get into the Best Buy Rewards program and make sure you get the Best Buy discount. Yeah, what does that mean? Well, it means that Best Buy sends me a text every single day. This is awesome. We have TVs as low as $69.99. I don't want to know the quality of a $70 TV. And then, of course, the political ads on both sides. And maybe it's because I'm registered no party preference, but I get lots of yes on 50. I get lots of no on 50. And I also get lots of random people from random races. Colin Allred, who ran for Senate in Texas last year, he's running again and he wants my money. I don't live in Texas. It's just nonstop. And I feel like it shouldn't just be up to me to have to say stop, stop, stop. Because every time you opt out, it doesn't matter. They still show up. Hey, Crystal here. Special rates on tree removal this week. Want an estimate? Who the hell are you and how did you get my number? There has to be a better way to deal with this. That is my only thought now. The phone number is outdated. There has to be a verifiable way for you to contact other people, and you shouldn't be able to do it with anonymous phone numbers. If this is really Crystal at the Tree Service, what should pop up instead of some random 213 number is the name of that business. So when they're harassing me, I can report them to the Better Business Bureau. So much of life that's supposed to be a convenience to us is turning into a massive headache. It's the News Blitz with Randy Wang on KABC. News Blitz with Randy Wang on KABC. If you'd like to email us, you could do so at randykabc@gmail.com. Judy writes in and says, there needs to be a place where we can report the phone numbers of places that send spam, political, and fraudulent calls or texts. The place could maybe track down who the caller is and charge them with a major crime. I'm all about that. If you're harassing people and they did not opt in to be harassed, which is pretty much every political text that you've ever gotten, do you remember ever opting into those? Yeah, someone should get punished for that. But of course, that's not going to happen because politicians on both sides profit so well off of that. Although, what do you think the response rate is? When you see these constant texts of give money for yes on 50, give money for no on 50, what is it? Like 0.000001%? It's probably more effective than print mail, but that's another rant for another day. Yeah, if I really had to judge my hierarchy of things that irritate me, junk mail makes me madder than junk texts. But that's because that literally wastes paper. And just as somebody who's in the advertising business, the junk mail, the money that goes into junk advertisements, the money that goes into political advertisements, that go into those cards, that go into your mailbox, that go directly into the trash without you reading those, seems like the worst return on investment. But at least in my opinion, there's a lot of crooked political consultants that are connected to printers that want to do this. But it seems like a terrible ROI. And sure, I'm biased because I'm in a different kind of advertising industry. But just as a consumer, print going to your junk mail doesn't work. So stop wasting your money on it. Buy a radio ad. 790 KABC welcomes Jeff Tate's Operation Mindcrime, the final chapter at the Canyon in Agora Hills on November 15th. Tickets are on sale now at AXS.com, but right now, caller number 9 at 1-888-790-5222 gets a pair of tickets to the show. Tickets furnished by the Canyon, where music meets the soul. Good luck dialing. It's the News Blitz with Randy Wang on KABC. It's the News Blitz with Randy Wang on KABC. I don't want lost in any of this the fact that we do live in an age of technology, and the fact that during a 3-minute commercial break, I can look through seats.aero to see if any business class seats to Europe for Christmas have popped up yet. That's pretty cool. Nothing yet. At some point, I'm going to have to decide if these seats are really going to open up, or I'm just going to have to say premium economy is good enough. I have lost 50 pounds. Maybe premium economy is good enough, but we'll see. I remember a lot of deals opening up last year. If you'd like to email us, you could do so at randykabc@gmail.com. Remus writes in, these spam calls are happening because the phone companies receive termination fees. Also, your phone company is selling call logs and information. Just like the DMV is selling your phone number. Everyone's selling, and this is the thing. You know, in 2020, one of the campaigns that I was really excited about when the Democrat primary was going on was that guy, Andrew Yang, the one that wanted to, everyone talked about his UBI, wants to send everyone $1,000, which if you replace all the social programs that we have with that and all the means tested nonsense with bureaucratic hurdles, maybe that saves us money. Is there good benefits with that? Who knows? But the other thing that guy talked about a lot was how everyone's making money off your data. And you should be getting into that. At this point, our data is so valuable not just to the telecom companies and the internet browsing companies, but all the AI companies. We're going to get to a point where they're making so much money. NVIDIA is what now, a $5 trillion company, that they should have to pay us for our data. I don't think that's ever going anywhere, but I like that someone was talking about that. By the way, the new operating system of the iPhone, if you have one, has a feature called Silence Unknown Callers in the iPhone app. And there's also a feature to screen calls. Okay, that's the first time hearing of this. Another thing you can do is call your carrier to turn off voicemail, and that will make them seem like the phone is disconnected, and they'll usually take the number off the list. Okay, that's not a bad idea. And as I'm thinking about it right now, that might work great for me. Except for like the 1 out of 100 times where the voicemail is useful and someone's legitimately trying to contact you. Like my fish guy called me today and I didn't pick up because I don't pick up. I don't care if it's an 818 number. I don't trust anybody. Which, by the way, I thought we figured out a way where businesses call you, the business will show up. I shouldn't have to add you as a contact, but I let it go to voicemail because, it's another scam. And then it says, no, it's your buddies here at Nordic Catch, and there's no halibut this week. Call us back. Let us know what you want. So I called them back, and I'm getting wild cod. It's going to be fine either way. But yeah, I didn't trust that. It's got to be so difficult being in the business where you have to call customers because you know they're not going to pick up because everyone is just so predisposed to assume that everyone trying to contact them is trying to rip them off in some way. There's a story we'll get to, if not this week, but next week. But a man, a widower, who responded to one of those. You ever get a text that looks like, someone sent you the wrong text message, like, hey, I'm here. Where are you? And you're like, wait, who's this? Yeah, those are spam. Those are scams. And if you actually respond to those with wrong number, they might start tricking you into developing a relationship that can lead to you giving your life savings into a crypto account. True story. Thank you all so much for listening. It's the News Blitz with Randy Wang on KABC.